Hello and welcome back to EPIC43. I am once again Exo, joined with... Actually, do you want to be David?
David Cladorheiser. I think David's probably more... Actually, no, wait. If you're Exo, I should probably be Clad.
Yeah, but I'm always Exo, even outside of this.
I'm joined with Luke.
Ooh! Doxing me real life right now.
Doxing. Yeah, anyway, Clad, yes. Yeah. That'll be me for now, I think.
Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yes.
All right, good stuff. We have an exciting series with us. We have PatttyMac versus Mix.
Yes.
Mix is possibly one of... Well, actually, where does he rank? He must be one of the best random players in the EU.
He is... other than pros who are Showtime might be better in the sense that he's very high ranked with all the races but doesn't play random, so to speak. But but yeah, in general, the people who play ladder with just random, I think Mix is probably the best.
Yeah, apparently we are waiting for Party to join a game. Zion is still in the party. I can see.
This match is definitely I think one of the best chances we'll get an upset.
Yes,
100%, because there's not only a random player who's coming in at the lower seed, but also PatttyMac's not really got much data on him as far as how he shapes up to EU players. I think it's very uncertain. Very uncertain.
Yeah, a lot of volatility potentially. Always the case. Yeah, players are looking ready. And yeah, we're going to be getting into game number 1. It's going to be on Oceanborn.
Very nice map.
So,
nice and standard.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. Start with the nice and standard ones. In fact, they've all been standard today. We haven't had any of the weird ones yet.
We did in the game that I just cast.
Oh, really?
Yes, but nothing weird happened with the rocks or the minerals or anything.
Oh, was it
like very
Dynasty or
ZVZ? You're gonna not get me on names. Okay. I don't know names of maps. I'm really bad with names.
Okay, well, let's take a seat and figure out what's going to be going on here.
It's the one which looks like Heavy Rain from HOTS. Top right, bottom left spawns with the gold minerals to the left of the natural on the top right.
With the rock, Crimson Court. I know the one.
Potentially.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Crimson Court.
But yeah, it ended up just being like a ZVZ30 drone all in.
Oh, I guess anyway. ZVZ is one of the least affected ones probably by that.
Yes, the game does not on average get that far to actually matters.
Oh.
Okay, little stutter.
little stutter. Tumbles down a cliff, little stutter.
We get PvP where walling does actually matter quite a lot when it comes to playing against random. But PatttyMac has high ground walled, so it's not going to be too abusable.
This is actually doubly interesting because often Mix as a Protoss versus where he's random and he gets Protoss and he knows he's against Protoss, he goes for the low ground wall. I guess he doesn't feel like he can hold it versus PatttyMac or on this map, so he's not going to do that. But yeah, PatttyMac is essentially taking a risk because if this was a Zerg, you don't want a wall like this.
Yes,
but it's paid off for him because he's guessed Protoss and it is Protoss. Oh, is this a hard wall? No, it can't be.
It's a 1 hex wall, so
it's
a bit more awkward to wall with a battery. But I think on this map you still can. I'm not sure that we're going to see.
Because that used to be the standard before Archon. Oh, before we started blocking. It used to be that Archons would be blocked by a 2 hex gap or by a 1 hex gap. Sorry. So you had to build a 2 hex gap.
You had to build too wide. Yeah, and now they've been changed. So
now they're changed. So yeah. So but people still do the 2 hex.
Very visually not obvious. Based on the size of Archons, but I mean that's a fair quality of life. Although I would love it if Ultras would also get that change because the amount of times I have Ultras which are stuck in my natural. I mean, it doesn't happen anymore, but it used to happen a lot. I remember a game I had against Razor actually where I had 6 Ultras stuck in my natural because I played Gasless Roach and you obviously wall your natural off fully. Yeah, brutal. Only gasless player problems, to be honest. Builds are actually pretty similar, except we have a sentry out of PatttyMac, so a bit more defensive. Can't go out on the map with the first stalker too aggressively, because obviously
did he just cancel this too?
Yeah, faster Nexus, I guess. Faster Nexus with...
I was going to say that, this is... Stalker Sentry is very much an opening that you do when... you feel you're the better player in Protoss. You think you can scout everything and find everything, and you're not worried.
Yeah.
So
that's very nice actually.
For him to cancel the
thing. The probe before it gets info on the Nexus.
Okay.
3 sentries.
3 sentry opening.
So very defensive, minimal tech. It's going to have basically no map control for this entire opening with the 4 stalkers.
Yeah, but he's going to get full scouting information, and it'll be interesting to see if Mix can punish this, because if he can get in here and kill the shield battery, and then bring the other 2 stalkers straight across. He's going to do some damage.
I mean, he's very fortunate to see 3 sentries immediately.
Yeah.
So he immediately knows there's nothing weird on the map. there's almost no ghast.
Yes,
something very strange. So he's got a lot of agency to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Which is pleasant. And he's just basically reacting with making his own sentries and going completely standard. So nothing too strange.
Be interesting. So this Nexus is like 90% done. This one is only like 60% done. So yeah, that is the difference.
It is a slight mining difference, but the probe counts won't be different enough. It'll end up being like a couple probes for PatttyMac, so minor advantage. But
Mix is trying to bait the force field. He's like, I'm here.
Yeah, it is a dangerous game.
It is a dangerous game.
There's only two. There's 3 force fields maybe with one of those. But it look like they're very close to having 100.
This one has got 37.
Yeah, so these two look like they're pretty close to having
100.
100.
Yeah, 93 and 98. So,
So now it's getting pretty dangerous.
Yeah,
you
now
could
it's
get
very
like quad force fielded and just lose a Stalker. But no risk being taken. Twilight down, but I'm sure PatttyMac saw that with the hallucination that was just sent in there.
Yeah.
We could have a little vision check.
We can have a little vision check.
Yes, he does see it. So no tricks, basically. Pretty standard. We are seeing a little move out. It's good against someone who doesn't have sentry of their own, because you don't really know what's going on behind the sentries at the front. But we can see a hallucination for Mix coming in from the south side of the natural.
Yeah, so he hasn't seen the third base yet. I really hope this does get to see it. Sometimes you go into the main, you don't see many gates, and you can't kind of get worried. But that should trigger the moment to check.
We see a very nice vacant base.
And then here we go. You come straight down.
It's very standard. We've basically seen everything.
Yep.
There's no gates. We can take a third of our own, no problem really. Or we can do something aggressive, but obviously PatttyMac's also been hallucination scouting, so
I do like this position here where he's like kind of waiting here, and he's got the vision on here just in case it like comes along this side, so it's kind of hard to get around. I guess this is trying to snipe like a prism or something that might be coming
Prevent
around.
hallucination scouts.
Or prevent hallucination. Here you go, beautiful.
So that's very nice. But yeah, having seen the Twilight, and especially seeing the Twilight not finished, like PatttyMac can just sit wherever he wants, because there's no risk of Blink coming in anytime soon. And
yeah, that's a very good point actually.
Yeah. So now probably wants to back away, just because you haven't really seen much of your opponent's army for the last minute or so, but like from this little center point, but maybe just looking to catch a couple of Stalkers for free and try and get out. Both players just diligently scouting. There's basically a hallucination in each other's main at all times.
This is what high-level PvP is kind of about when you get like opening with multiple sentries. Oh, he's going to walk up into the thing at one.
Yeah, we have Blink though. We do have Blink.
Does lose one, unfortunately,
but a couple force fields for a Stalker.
He doesn't know this obs is here unless he's got laser eyes.
Yep. I would imagine Mix notices it from playing so much Terran.
Oh, but, they've all got laser eyes.
This is a bit dangerous. This is a bit...
Oh, he's blinking on forward.
Blinking on top of there's a battery,
the super battery. This wouldn't happen next patch.
We get it, but at what cost?
At what? The caster question. At what cost?
Like 7 Stalkers was that?
That was, well, let's see how many. 8
it was 7 Stalkers in that fight.
Yeah, 7 in that fight.
That was not great. Especially if we don't do anything very soon with that.
Which
we just can't. We just can't defend.
This army is just smaller. You got less sentries, less Stalkers, and 0 immortals against 1.
Yeah, it's a very.
I mean, Blink is a powerful ability.
Fortunate situation, and it seems honestly to have that slight Stalker advantage. We definitely cut a little bit of pro production too. So we are slightly behind in that sense. Very late robo from Mix as well. Like this is
robo timings in PvP are always this weird thing, because some people do rush DTs to try and cut this sort of stuff out, because where's Patty's Dark Templar? Not Dark Templar. Yeah, robo. He doesn't have a robo either.
No, he does.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, that was an immortal being sniped.
Oh, of course it is.
It was just built so early that the immortal's been on the field for a long time. But yeah,
and we were literally looking at the observer as well. Wow, my brain.
It just seems like Mix is probably going to try and go for a more gateway-heavy style, just to not die to anything. You know, you lose 7 Stalkers like that, and it's suddenly you're in a bit of a weird position with trying to also get a high-tech army.
Exactly, and this is always the difficulty, right? Where it's like you try and play safer in the opening, so you cut some economy, and then suddenly you're in a worse economy, and then you're entering an awkward mid to late game.
And so weird. I like the idea of taking the sentries with you to look for some little force field picks, but equally they just, to me, I just feel like they're liabilities. I'd rather leave them at home so that I don't have to worry about like these different speed units with no blink.
True. Yeah.
Like it's so awkward.
I guess it's one of those things where if you value the hallucination sentries more,
this is dodgy.
Do it. Oh, this is going to be dodgy.
Very dodgy.
We have some more units coming in from the bottom, but it's not much. Some units getting caught by the pathing. very unfortunate there.
Yeah, we have a strictly worse army, and we're also like, well, not strictly worse. We've got a more flexible army. This is.
I don't know if we can.
We have more zealots, but it's still looking like a decent.
Yeah, zealots are being warped in at the back with the war prism.
The DPS is just not enough.
Now Mix has got his own war prism coming in here.
Blink's really great, but it doesn't actually make your units do more damage.
Unfortunately,
so when your opponent has a bigger army and you're taking a straight up fight, Blink's really not doing very much.
What I find interesting is that PatttyMac actually has quite a gas bank. I wonder if he's planning to go into Archons or whether that's just he went to 6 gases really quickly.
Yeah.
And,
6 gases.
Oh, there they are. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Disgusting.
Disgusting.
Absolutely disgusting. And this is just going to be brutal.
Yeah, now this army is just
Immortal Archon against Gateway units is just not. It's not viable. So this is.
So I mean, go for a base race here. That's starting late, but yeah.
Yeah. No, this is just looking like a GG, unfortunately.
Like a very clean game one.
Go for some heavy micro. We don't even have a battery here. This is yeah. It's absolutely brutal. Yeah. But
that's what we get. Yeah, game number 1. Like I say, a very sharp game. Like I say, Pi seemed to always just like carve little advantages. Came out of every little thing. Like he guessed it was Protoss and did the Protoss wall to start with.
Yeah, that was fortunate.
Then he scouted, saw there was no threat, so he cancelled the Stalker. Knew he could go 3 sentries, just get a little edge that way, and really just played the game to get a bunch of little edges.
Cancelling the Stalker for the faster Nexus and building 3 sentries with no tech. It's a
bold move.
It's a good way of getting an economic lead, 100%.
Yeah. And I guess he was confident to play that out.
But it did seem a bit. Mid-game could have been way more dangerous if there wasn't a battery at that third in range of the Immortal, because the Immortal was smothered. The Immortal couldn't move.
I was about to say, the Blink was actually brilliant.
Yeah.
If the battery wasn't there. But obviously you
didn't have full information that it was done, and it was unlucky, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
yeah, no, really admire the way Mix plays, because I say it's hard to play all 3 races and then to remember how Blink sometimes it takes a while to get to that intuitive level of where I have this many Stalkers, there's this many Stalkers and an Immortal, I can Blink on top of that, and it was the right call if the battery wasn't there, which he obviously didn't know.
Yeah, it was also he might have seen that with the hallucination, the battery, and thought that it was out of healing range. And if you blinked on top of it completely in a circle, the Immortal couldn't move. It was almost like a max range heal from the battery.
It was actually really far, yeah.
But still, it was the kind of situation you can't really recover from, because you're already going Going Blink is already kind of committing to mobility over being able to actually fight an Immortal heavy army. And if the moment you have a straight up fight right at the start, you lose all of your tempo with your Stalkers. I mean, it's such a bad trade. Yeah. It's like 1,000 resources for 300.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not viable. You can't be doing something aggressive with that.
Like you said, he had to, if there was a timing where he could then suddenly do something because that Immortal was gone and that was the real last line of defense, and then the reinforcements come in and you just overwhelm, that can work. But yeah, it wasn't quite the situation we had here.
Nope, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're just trying to get Mix into the second game. Looks like he's struggling. Ready.
He's trying to join.
Mix.
Stuck in UI. We've had loads of weird UI problems this LAN. People just can't load maps, can't load everything.
Can't load the PTR.
Yeah.
That was a pain. I had to use Ross's PC for the big rainbow.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Oh, I lost 0-3. It was going to happen.
Did you at least get a mothership out?
Yeah, the mothership rush was successful. And I actually think I may have even come out of it ahead. No, I probably didn't actually. But then I did a follow-up all in and died.
Oh, I
see. That was a hard sort of thing. And then the other games were also kind of memey, but it was good fun.
Yep.
I need to watch the VOD. Anyway, but right now we have the serious Starcraft, which is the Protoss spawning in the bottom right. He is the American, I was going to say invader, but that sounds a bit aggressive. He is the American tourist. It is PatttyMac.
Yes, it's spawning in the top left, representing the United Kingdom and Team Messi to improve. It is Mix.
Yeah.
The boy. The defender of the homeland.
The defender of the homeland. Now,
and he's got Terran.
He got Terran on, I would say, a good TVP map as well. It's a very short rush distance. I don't know whether Kane has pre-planned builds for what's his general, if I get Terran versus Protoss on this map, what do I do? He might have that. I think this is a great 3-racks map.
I can imagine it.
But again, we'll see how.
I like the size of the main and the fact that there's a void space up here where it's really awkward to leave units or like be able to look for drops sort of thing. So you can have lots of nice aggressive drop positions for like
it's
sort of pressure builds like Hellions and mine drops and things like that.
I think this is actually quite an interesting map. It is a shame that the smallness of the rush distance. Smallness of the rush distance?
The small rush distance.
The small rush distance. I can't English. Me no English. Yeah, it makes it like very hard some games, but yeah, it's interesting to see how that can be used, and I'm very interested to see what kind of shenanigans we can get up to here, or whether PatttyMac will try some shenanigans. Right now he's playing So Standard, who went Cyber before Nexus.
Yep, very nice and safe.
Yep.
It's going to be a CC from Mix. And
yeah, he's not quite able to block
Not much of a free racks player, I don't think. But I don't know. He might pull out something.
Oh, well, he went Marine first into Reactor, which is definitely a way of going into 3 racks.
Yeah, that is true.
But we will have to wait and see whether... I mean, I think that the second barracks would start right around now. I don't have an exact timing on it.
We still have 1 gas, so it might actually be a some racks-heavy build.
Anything happening on
Maybe
the
we're doing
other side? No, okay.
It could be something like Hellions or something. But then the factory's quite far away from the reactors.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
Maybe it's more likely to be a mine drop or something.
And then into like a 3-1-1.
No add-ons.
I do like the 3-1-1 timings after, I think. Oh, the big lag spike there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I keep meaning to tell the players that if they need a pause because of the lag, they just do it. We would rather the players
very
be
standard.
happy.
Twilight on the way, probably going to be getting Blink and playing rather defensive. Blink against a mine drop is pretty nice if you've got a decently timed robo. It's like very bad if you're against mines and you're going for like a really heavy Blink. Like an old-fashioned Blink all-in with not a robo, but no one does those anymore. So
I was about to say, yeah, it's quite rare.
Back in the day.
Back in the day,
the mine drop matchup used to be way more like, mines get into your mineral line and you're doing a heavy Blink play and you're just like, well, I guess I lose now.
I've lived it, mate. I've lived it.
Okay, we're seeing Cyclone instead, so a little bit more defensive, I guess, potentially.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing a 4-gate Blink from Patty, though. Like, I think it's a very strong build versus Terran.
Strong build to test if your opponent is that type of random player who's like actually not that solid, but just enjoys the racial advantage, you know, the matchup advantage.
Does have a Cyclone.
If you enjoy the racial advantage, you should just play Protoss. Sorry, that's a Zerg part coming out of me.
I would say the bias showing here.
Not biased, not biased. We are seeing 4 gates and a robo, still 2 bases, so we will see some aggressive Blink, and we are getting a really interesting move out from Mix. Probably hoping to see a fast third potentially where we can get a little trade. Perhaps we send a little 1 health Marine to scout the third. No, we're just looking around for potential air units maybe which are flying around.
And Patty is of course waiting. He knows that the main way is to come up this ramp. You do have to sometimes be careful if they come up this ramp and go all the way around and like you box your stalkers in and cut them off from the thing. But
now drop being loaded up of a bunch more Terran units. So we are going to go for a push. Now I don't think this is a very good matchup for Terran, as in the build order that we have. Although if we come in before Blink's done and we get some good damage with the Stalkers before...
Oh, I think we want that Cyclone to be a bit more
We do want the Cyclones to be able to lock on.
A good pick up there, Dave, but now we are running back to a battery. He does have battery overcharge as well if he needs it, and he's actually trading really well against these Marines. Okay, first Stalker goes down.
But yeah, if you start killing Stalkers with the Cyclones, I mean, the medevac is very good until the Marine buff is gone, and then suddenly it gets way more dangerous. There's no way we're going to get this out alive. Like, it's going to run out, and then we're just going to get Blink out of...
The blinkers have about to come off all down there.
We could have honestly just went on top of this little high ground here, but then as soon as the obs or the warp prism's out, we are cooked. But at least we would know that the Stalkers have to just sit there.
Sit there and wait for
That's the one positive.
Speaking of, the obs has come over and saw everything in the main base here.
Yeah, we have a tank, and we're going to have 1 tank on the high ground, but we have very little. Like, and if the Stalkers immediately go into the main, we are looking a bit cooked here.
Yeah, this bunker is trying to do God's work out here.
We have a Raven at least, which can shunt away that. And at least because the obs can't go too deep, can't really know what the entire setup is. Okay, we're blinking in the natural. Bunker's down, we need to pull SCVs maybe. Luckily, we're not committing.
If
the third tank gets out, I believe that we're somewhat safe. But until then, there's like just too many spots in your main where
you have to be this army is also so fragile versus Terran when you blink in and there's like you see one tank, but there's a tank behind it, and there's like 2 Marauders, and you jump in, and now he pulls the SCV. A lot of Stalkers going down, but
it's too far away from our tanks. We can't get enough.
This third tank might get sniped as well.
We need to be careful with the tank. Oh, there's no point repairing it. It would just get one shot.
Okay, well,
we're lucky.
are able to get out here, and actually the supply is
bunker finishes.
What do we have?
Definitely
only
favourite
5 Stalkers gone down.
Although the Protoss at this point is completely all in. No third started. Everything's being spent on Stalkers. The issue is like the tank count just keeps getting reduced. Like we're not really getting into a better position with how the game's going. But the third tank again emerges.
Oh, but it moves forward. And there's the blink.
Yeah. I mean, we do have the second tank firing shells, but if we can't finish any Stalkers off, like they're just going to reject.
Warping in the main, that's huge.
We need to pull our natural tank. Yeah, we just have so little production. We're so balled up right now.
Very
third base even starts, so I think PatttyMac seems to suggesting that he's done enough damage to just do whatever he wants, basically.
So long as he doesn't lose all these Stalkers for nothing now, like he's like super ahead, And I don't think there's going to be some random nuke that comes down here now.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like the tanks are covering the main, but there's so little we can do.
Yeah, and you can't even like pull everything. Oh, the observer here just looking at everything, seeing that he's rebuilding the thing.
The lack of Raven.
I like that. Tried to bait a blink forward maybe. Oh no, the blink would have still got the medevac.
Yeah, could have maybe killed the medevac instead. Yeah, this is just very
obviously it's a tournament game. Mix doesn't want to leave until like if he thinks he's got a chance to like SCV pull and kill all the Stalkers.
At the end of the day, this is a lot of Stalkers, and Stalkers do suck against Bio.
Yeah.
And the army size is not that different, so there are going to be periods where maybe it'll come down to disruptor shots because we have a Robo Bay now. So
he's actually going Colossus.
Going Stalker Colossus, which is pretty fair. It's more secure.
I was going to say it's more reliable sort of damage. Yeah.
So we see a third. We see no gases and it's barely saturated, but it's still not a very nice sight
I was about to say, you scan hoping to see that this either isn't there or is just started. You don't want to see it basically full saturation.
Yeah.
That is hard work. Yeah, can't even afford to get rid of this because
no.
Even if he knows it's there, like scan is expensive.
And we only have one tech lab. We have no concussive, so we're slowly grinding through the upgrades. So the Stalkers really don't have any risk of being on the map at all.
Yeah, I guess do you think an SCV pull with 1-1 is like a way?
Normally, the SCV pulls would be fine if you were making Vikings this whole time and you knew it was Colossus. But
yeah, no, that's bad.
This is...
Yeah, now having to stim in order to make the Stalkers blink away. Yeah. And again, he is starting to whittle away some of these Stalkers, but he's only lost 9 in total. That's actually really impressive.
Yeah, lots and lots of red ones. So they're not going to perform like supply optimally, but it doesn't really matter, to be honest.
Retaining Stalker numbers during this kind of pressure is actually really difficult. It's so easy for everything to like suddenly start disappearing, and then you end up with like 5 or 6, and again, it's like hard to make anything happen. But PatttyMac showing why he's such a high-level player and why he's such a one of the favorites for this tournament. In all honesty, and it's because he's really good. Stuff like this. Now we do have Marauders being able to fight straight up, but now we have the big boys coming out. And I think as soon as you see this, you've got to be.
I mean, it's way harder to fight.
4 tanks.
Okay, he's going for the shift Q. What puts him into the main?
Oh,
with 3 Colossus out of nowhere.
Colossus.
Okay, he's too busy warping in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is brutal to be in a position like this as Terran. Like you might have to just give up.
Now the tank.
Oh no, we've got. The tanks are getting good shots off. If we can get the Colossus. Yeah. What's the Colossus doing? Can we back away? We can back away. Honestly, that's about as good as that could have went.
Yeah, exactly.
For the actual fight. But yeah, it's some absolutely hectic shit. This is going to need some Pult level holding.
I don't mean to keep spinning the camera. My hockey is on.
Yeah, there's just too many zealots in the main. Everything's going down.
Yeah, this is a very valiant effort. Nice strong defense. I like that he held on really resiliently. I like that he was able to push out. He had 1-1. He's tried to make something happen. Interesting fights. But PatttyMac looking really strong out here in Kettering.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. He's lucky he didn't get against Zerg because he's high ground walling 2 times in a row against Random.
Oh, if now he gets he low ground walls and Mix gets Zerg.
But isn't it over now?
Oh no, of course. I thought it was best of 5. Oh no, yeah. Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I was hoping for another game.
No Zerg games.
Okay, well, no Zerg games for our Mix. Damn, I was hoping Mix to make a comeback. Well, Gotta give it to Patty. He's a very strong player. Clearly showing now why he's good.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
And yeah, and again, shout outs to Mix, great player. Yeah. I love the way he plays random, and he's so good with all 3 races. I think that's really impressive.
It is.
And yeah, should we offer him a winners interview, PatttyMac? Because I don't know if he wants to be on stream. GG's, do you want winners interview? Let's see if he wants it. It's really handy. So sometimes in the catering...
Oh, sorry. I was just like...
That's fine. Sometimes
mine went off.
Yeah, sometimes at LAN it's like a 2-minute walk from where the casters are to where things are, so it makes winners interview really hard. But now we do just have them basically in eye line.
Yeah, he said sure. So
okay, cool. Pop on over. I assume he's already on his way by the time I type this, but you know, we'll see this. And I will ask him some questions, and we will see what we can do. Like I say, really impressed with his play. Like I say, he's a really solid sort of player. And here he comes over now. Actually, do you want to swap, or do you want to do the interview?
I don't mind. You can.
If you want to take that, I'll take that. If you want to, you're gonna. If you have any questions, let me know. Ask them. Nice to meet you, Patty, firstly. This is the first time I've seen you in the light, actually.
Yeah,
You're very handsome, you know. Looking good.
I appreciate that.
Come over here a little bit. Get in
the center.
There you go. Lovely. Yeah, so congratulations. Is that your group now finished?
No, I've got a lot of more matches to play.
Oh, okay, so you've still got more matches.
Yeah.
I think Mix was the 2nd seed in your group, was it?
No, Mixu's not. Oh, Mixes, yeah. Mix, yeah.
Yeah, not Mixu, yeah, different player. Yeah, no. So congratulations on your win. Very strong, solid style. Were you worried at all in any of those matches?
Playing against random is
that's always a worry, isn't it?
Sketchy. I noticed that I was pretty far behind in the PvP at the start. Well, not pretty far behind. Maybe like 2 probes behind in the PvP at the start because of my scout versus his no scout, my pylon scout.
Oh,
so
okay. Is that why you cancelled the stalker?
I canceled the stalker because I saw that all of his units were at home and he made his 2nd pylon. So
okay, yeah. So you were confident.
So I could get a faster base and I don't have to, invest in any defense right there.
Yeah. No, that was very smart.
That's why I canceled the stalker to get the faster expansion.
No, that was really smart. You also high ground walled. What was your plan versus Zerg, if you don't mind me asking?
So the plan versus Zerg is to play 3-gate. So just play like I'm...
1 base 3-gate?
No, so you play... you want a wall, so it's different the way you want a wall. Usually you do a 2-gap wall versus Protoss.
Yes, yeah.
And versus Terran, you don't want a wall like that.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's playable because your gateway is still in your main base.
Yeah.
But
you have to deal with the Reaper.
Versus Zerg, you can just put your 2nd pylon on the bottom, but then you still need... like 2 or 3 buildings, and then so you can just build
right. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying.
So you have to play like 3-gate, and it's usually totally fine.
Oh, okay. No. Well, hey, no. Glad you've got a style burst.
But it's not like the best build.
Yeah,
it still is a build to play.
Yeah, so. No. Like so, yeah. And well, luckily you didn't get that. You had the sort of thing. Any other people you're worried about in this overall in the tournament?
Overall in the tournament,
there's some big names here.
Probably Geralt is going to be
the final boss.
Challenging.
Yeah.
And a lot of other good players like Zane. We've got Larimbo's kind of crazy.
Larimbo is kind of crazy. Yeah.
But mainly Geralt, and then Eba, of course. Also.
Yes. Young Eba, the star of the UK.
Exactly.
Young star of the UK. Yeah.
Very, very scary playing on his home turf here. But yeah, it's a fun tournament, honestly.
Yeah,
no. You got the bar right there. You got everyone having a good time.
Yeah. Like I say, hopefully good atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like I say,
it's nice to meet all the UK people.
Exactly, yeah. I hope it makes it worth your while for coming all the way over here. And we were really happy to have you. And like I say, we'll probably see more of you tomorrow.
I hope so.
Yes, good stuff. All right, is that the end of the stream for today? Yes, so that is going to be all the games for the stream today. Once again, thank you for everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Patty for playing. Thanks to everyone for playing. And again, if you're in the UK and you haven't been to the EPIC LAN, it's really worth coming down. I want to give a big shout out again to Intel. This is EPIC43 with Intel, and they do a lot of stuff to help support the scene. And keep it all going. So, yes, thank you very much. And I think we're about there.
Awesome.
Good stuff.